3, 2, 1. I'm gonna grab my drink and you're ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from Riprock's, this is the Open Bar Review. It's your Huckleberry Paul Wedding with me as always. It's Leopold Knopp. And this week, off the request of Riprock's manager Blake, we will be reviewing and analyzing Tombstone.
Our venerated benefactor, Blake Jutton. Tombstone is a 1993 Western movie starring Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer, based on the true story of Wyatt Earp. He's a retired lawman. He comes into Tombstone, Arizona. It's a town ruled by outlaws, and he doesn't want to get involved, but he ends up getting involved. Plot's kind of weird.
Yeah,
now that I'm explaining it. So this movie is massively popular. It remains a favorite almost 25 years after it hit theaters. But as far as we can tell, there has never been a serious academic study of it. And so that's what we're going to do, the two of us right now in the Riprock's patio over the next 5 minutes or
We are
so.
serious academics.
Huh?
There's already been several studies. I read them for class.
On Tombstone?
On Tombstone?
Yeah.
That's strange.
Are they like commercially available?
They were available when I looked them up online.
We didn't find any.
The gunfight at the OK Corral is like the most famous Western shootout of all time. You know, Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday are both famous badass. I guess Doc Holliday's not really a lawman, but he's a badass fucking gunfighter. And Wyatt Earp's famous for, you know, keeping the peace with his peacemaker.
And so it's just a really famous movie because it has famous characters.
Yeah, Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday's like one of my favorite movie characters of all time.
You know, you watch this movie and you think, you know who'd make a good Batman? Kurt Russell. Hashtag Kurt Batman. This movie's got a lot on its mind in terms of literature. We've got heavy-handed references to Revelations
Faust.
and Henry V.
Yes.
The Book of Revelations, a very controversial Bible book. It was almost not included. Most skeptics agree that it's not Word of God the way Luke or John is just like a fever dream about how Emperor Nero was bad. But it's got a ton of real fire and brimstone language in it that has been a good source for like symbolism and stuff. Bunch of seven-headed beasts and shit. Henry V, Henry in the Battle of Agincourt, where they were outnumbered 5-1, and they won anyway. Faust is Faust. We watched this earlier today. It was my first time watching it, and determined pretty much immediately that the love interest is the fourth horseman of the apocalypse.
Well, you got that. I've seen the movie, and they never really executed on that, I don't think. At least not thoroughly. If that was the intention, I think that intention changed, maybe halfway through the movie.
That's one of the problems with the movie, really. They don't really execute on a lot of the things that they set up.
I mean, it seems like they were trying to go based off the true story, but if they had done that, then they should have just not set that up in the first place.
Henry V, there's obvious parallels. You've got narration at the beginning and ending, inspiring speeches, outnumbered people fighting. And those scenes were kind of weak, I thought.
I like this.
I wish they'd been actual fight scenes and not...
Like montages?
Yeah, we've got one of the best action scenes ever, midway through the movie, and then there are a couple of different points where the movie's like, okay, time for Kurt Russell to kill people, and it's just shots, glamour shots of him and his gang shooting and people dying.
It's pretty nice looking glamour shots.
They're glamour shots, though. I don't know, there's something inherently lame about it to me. This lady is the devil, though, because she was playing Faust. She wasn't playing Faust, she was playing the devil in Faust. Faust would be Kurt Russell's character.
Something like that, yeah.
Wouldn't he be? And then he becomes the horseman of the apocalypse, where he's like, hell's coming with me, which is like a direct Revelations quote.
Yeah, he's definitely the bringer of death by the end point of this movie. He's destroying the sinners or whatever.
But you pointed out some fascist stuff.
Yeah, this movie kind of has a very pro-police agenda. The civilians aren't allowed to have guns.
Oh yeah, they just straight up kill the Second Amendment at one point in the Wild West.
Yeah, after a while, it's basically just, alright, fuck it, just kill anyone who is causing trouble.
What did you think of this movie's messages on how government should operate?
I wouldn't agree with it like executed in the real world. It doesn't affect my enjoyment of the film.
Well, it literally was in the real world. Like,
well, yeah. At the beginning, he was like, these people have to be brought to justice to trial, and I guess after his brother died, he's just like, fuck it, kill these assholes.
so the moral of the story is murder is not okay unless it's for revenge. Do you think that this was like a story where you're supposed to sympathize with the protagonist? Then?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because I didn't get that impression at all. Like,
I felt a lot of sympathy for Doc Holliday.
Well, sympathy, but I got the impression that they were not people to look up to. That they were not, like, good people.
I got the impression that they were cool and that you should see them as, like, awesome, like, badasses.
So, straight up pro-murder movie, then?
For the most part.
We were just talking about The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
And how we don't necessarily agree with its themes, but more of a problem is that it doesn't execute on its themes really well at all. Mm-hmm. Do you think Tombstone has that same issue where its themes are just kind of muddy, and why does it work so much better?
Well, it works so much better because Christopher Nolan can't direct action.
Okay. As opposed to whoever the fuck directed Tombstone.
Yeah, the Greek-Italian guy.
We just looked it up, like, several hours ago, and he directed something like Rambo 2
and Cobra, and the screenwriter wrote The Mummy, the 1999 Ben Affleck movie.
You mean the 1999 Brendan Fraser movie?
Same guy.
Oh, fuck you. Brendan Fraser, he's the best.
Yeah, he's way better than Ben Affleck.
He would make a wonderful Batman. Hashtag Brendan Batman. Well, we know who the devil is in this movie. It's the lady. Who makes a deal with her?
I don't think anyone makes a deal with her. The devil to me seems more like Johnny Ringo.
Well, he's the antagonist. He's not necessarily Satan. Well, I mean, we had that thing where the other guy was much more prominent. Mm-hmm. And that could be like a Book of Revelations thing where the Antichrist is much more prominent than the devil. I'm reaching. You know who'd make a better Batman than Ben Affleck? Mm-hmm. Billy Bob Thornton. Despite him being just a coward in this movie.
And just like skin and bones. He's got the charisma for Batman.
Mm-hmm. He's got, I don't know. He's always kind of weird. What were you saying?
I don't remember.
Hashtag Billy Bob Batman. So I guess the conclusion is this movie has a lot of themes, but they're all kind of jumbly.
Yeah.
And you should just kind of watch it at face value and not try and analyze it.
Probably.
I want to analyze it, though, because it's got so much stuff. I like biblical stuff and Shakespeare stuff and Faust.
Yeah.
Is this even a good movie, then?
That's a great movie. And
I mean, it's obviously a great movie, but
it's got, just for the sake of its action, I would consider, for its action and its character and its performances, I would consider it a great movie. Like Val Kilmer's, 25 years later, he's still incredibly memorable.
But the script is just kind of nonsense.
I'd say there's a clear plot. I mean, the themes aren't clear, but the plot itself, I think, is fine. It drifts with the romance bullshit they could have cut off, but other than that, I think it's alright.
So maybe just... I forgot what I was going to say, like, literally in the middle of the sentence. My mind is completely blank. Paul, say something. Save me. Save me.
Join us next week as we analyze Jungian archetypes in Toy Story. Last call, Knopp. How many beers would you give Joey Stantonopoulos for directing this movie?
I feel obligated to give him, 5 beers, but after having this discussion, I don't feel like doing it. I'm just not seeing much past the surface level in the movie, which is kind of disappointing because I like it so much, and they clearly want there to be more past the surface.
Yeah.
5, obviously, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's Tombstone.
I'll also go with 5. How many beers did you want to see this movie again?
This movie would be pretty fun, drunk.
This is definitely a beer and steak movie, I think. You know, it's just-
Yeah,
it's got some grit to it.
porterhouse and potatoes
Yeah.
and whiskey out of Val Kilmer's tiny little cup. Tiny little cup that he drinks whiskey out of.
As always, Paul Wedding, Leopold Knopp, Tombstone, Riprocks.
Cheers! Cheers!